Hi everybody, my name is Mark Mongiardo. My body makes alcohol. I have auto-brewery syndrome, former teacher, coach, athletic director, 2 DWIs in 6 months, lost my career in education. I got a text this morning at 6 a.m. from a former player that I keep in touch with. I've known him since he was in 3rd grade. Now he's a teacher and coach of his own. Chris, if you see this, I want you to know how proud I am of you and how thankful I am that we've kept in touch over the years. We keep in touch. We talk frequently about coaching. We send each other motivational quotes, and he sends me pictures and videos of him coaching. You know, those are the relationships that make being a teacher and a coach gratifying. You know, it's keeping in touch, seeing the success stories of former players and students years later that are just doing great out there and just living a very successful life, and hopefully instilling some of the lessons they learned when they were a player. I'd always tell my players that life lessons and learning about character, commitment, integrity, and work ethic, they're the most important things. You know, they're more important than wins and losses, and I truly meant that. High school athletics, when properly coached, is a character-building experience. And the lessons you learn about being a competitor, teamwork, chemistry, communication, having common goals, and having consistency with your work ethic and approach, you know, they're all life lessons that you're going to use long after your playing days are over. The quote he gave me this morning was, mediocre people dislike great people, and great people dislike mediocre people. You know, it's not meant to be literal, but this is, it's not the case always. But it's a reference to the sentiment that I use when I coach regarding the difference between average players and great players. Rejecting average and striving for greatness. You know, setting high standards, having a winning mindset, and prioritizing daily competition and accountability. The importance of discipline, pushing yourself past your limits, and the energy and enthusiasm of great leaders. I wanted, everybody on my team to be great leaders, not just my captains. I call my captains my Paul Reveres. He's famous for the midnight ride, carrying the message to warn the colonists that the British were coming. My captains would carry the message and the mission statement of the program. A good coach is a thief. I always heard that. Urban Meyer, he gave a speech about being average. Now, whatever your opinion is on Urban Meyer, that's irrelevant. It's just, it was the point to his speech. He talked about, how easy it is to be average. It takes a little something special to be a great player. We don't want to coach average. We don't want to be around average. Did you push yourself to be great today? Did you do it? If you didn't do it, you just lost today. We ain't got many days to lose. That's what he would say. How many days are you willing to lose not being the best you can be? When I was coaching Division I summer ball, it was a scout league. It was funded by Major League Baseball. There'd be scouts at the game. All the players were trying to get drafted. They were self-motivated to be the best they could be every day. The challenge when coaching high school players is that not every player is self-motivated. It's just a fact. You're going to have the players that just buy into what you're talking about and the life lessons and all that. Those are the easy ones to coach. It's just not every player is the same. There's distractions outside, obviously, social life. They're in high school. And having, 16 to 18 year olds understand life lesson concepts and pushing themselves to be great, it's a challenge. But one I embraced every day, and hopefully, I had a positive impact along the way. I wanted to just touch base, quick, days like this, we're about a week away from the start of the high school basketball season in New Jersey. I did 13 years coaching on all levels, 8th grade, freshman, JV, varsity, and I miss it. I do. My father, he passed away last year. He played college basketball, so basketball has always been, a big part of my life growing up, and it's a great game. But days like this, I got the text from my former player, and being a week away from the high school basketball season just reminds me of those days. I don't sit around dwelling on the past very often, but you know what? Sometimes I think back to my days teaching and coaching, and it was just, it was important times. It was good times, and I really enjoyed the coaching aspect to it, and teaching those life lessons. Thank you, everyone, as always, for following my story. Tomorrow, Wednesday, November 19th, I'm going to be on the Recovery Matters podcast. If you're not following them, take a look at it. I don't know if it's going to be live or recorded, and I'll keep you posted on that. Reminder, go to auto-brewery.org for more information about Brewery Syndrome. Thank you very, very much, everybody. Have a great day.